Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining me once again here on Talkin Fight for another episode of Boxing News Today. Courtesy of our friends across the pond at boxing247.com. You should visit them often to have a look at what's upcoming, what's new and exciting. But let me tell you, I was surfing around the internet this morning. I came across one of the funniest headlines I've ever seen. Not ever, but this is pretty good. Related to Anthony Joshua and his upcoming fight with Alexander Usyk. The headline reads, Joshua looks mentally broken during Usyk promo shoot. Think about that for a sec. All right, let's go down with the news. Here we go. Concerning Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin and their trilogy fight coming up. Undisputed super middleweight world champion Saul Canelo Alvarez and unified middleweight champion Gennady Triple G Golovkin will clash in a blockbuster trilogy fight at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Saturday, September 17th. The fight, presented by Matchroom, Canelo Promotions, and Triple G Promotions, will be broadcast live on DAZN pay-per-view in the US and Canada, as well as around the world on DAZN, excluding Mexico, Latin America, and Kazakhstan. Alvarez and Golovkin will return to the scene of their previous two epic battles, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The first fight in 2017 ended in a draw, with a second in September 2018, with Alvarez leaving victorious via mid-majority decision. So tickets for this third installment of the rivalry start at $305 US and will go on sale shortly. Woo-wee! Canelo and Triple G will come face to face for the first time since their last battle at a red carpet press conference and fan event in Los Angeles on Friday, June 24th. That would be tomorrow, followed by another press conference on Monday, June 27th in New York. Both events will be covered live on DAZN. Elsewhere, let's take a look at what's happening in Texas. Jesse Rodriguez versus Sirket Sor Rungvisai. Jesse Rodriguez says he will live up to the hype and prove he's ready to take over the super flyweight division when he comes home to San Antonio and defends his WBC world title against Sirket Sor Rungvisai at the Techport Arena on Saturday night, live worldwide on DAZN. That's this Saturday night, June 25th. Rodriguez, who's 15-0 with 10 knockouts, won the title in stunning fashion, taking on Carlos Cotras in just 6 days' notice and flooring the former ruler in the third round with a devastating uppercut en route to a wide points win. Victory saw Bam crowned the youngest active world champion in the sport, and fans and pundits alike were quick to anoint the 22-year-old as the future of the 115-pound division and more. But as Rodriguez prepares to face another massive test in the shape of the Thai King Rungvisai, he says he can carry that weight of expectation with ease and prove that he is the real deal. He says, a lot of people have eyes on me now, and they're looking at me to take over the division. I've seen a lot on social media saying I am the new Chalky, and that's a lot of motivation. I want to live up to the hype. Rungvisai has been in with the best, and beating him would really boost my confidence and skyrocket my career. I feel a lot stronger than I did against Quadras. That wasn't a fluke. I want to show that I am the real deal. It's possibly the toughest test you could face in the first division of my title, but like with the Quadras fight, I had no hesitation because I am here to take over. Woohoo, fair enough. Let's have a quick look at the other bouts will be on that fight night. Let's have a quick look here. Julio Cesar Martinez, 18-2, goes up against McWilliams Arroyo, 21-4. Pick up where they left off in their curtailed firefight for Martinez's WBC World Flyweight title. IBF and WBA World Super Bantamweight champion Murodjon Akhmadaliev defends his title against Ronnie Rios, and undisputed welterweight ruler Jessica McCaskill, 11-2 with 4 knockouts, makes her third defense of all the marbles at 147 pounds against Alma Albara. She's 10-1 with 4 knockouts. Also on that card, Raymond Ford, 11-0-1, undefeated, will face unbeaten local talent Richard Medina, who's 13-0 for his WBA Continental America's featherweight strap and the IBF North American belt. Nikita Ababe, 11-0 with 6 knockouts, fights for the first time in 2022 against Noe Larios Jr., who's 14-1, over 8 rounds in the middleweight division. Big hitting light heavyweight Khalil Ko, who's 3-0-1 with 2 knockouts, is back in action in his 4th paid outing and takes on unbeaten Dominican Joaquin Barrio Lugo, who's 3-0 in the fight over 6 rounds. Good stuff in San Antonio. All right, let's move across the pond to Coventry Skydome Arena, where we hear that Tyler Denny is getting ready to face River Wilson Bent. And that's this Saturday night. Tyler Denny insists that nothing will stop him from getting past River Wilson Bent and claiming the English middleweight title. The two will lock horns at Coventry Skydome Arena on Saturday night in front of the Sky Sports cameras, with the winner landing the vacant crown. It's the second meeting of the duo, who played out a controversial clash for the same honors last November at the same venue, which was halted in the 7th round. The contest was stopped after Coventry's own Wilson Bent sustained a nasty cut over his left eye, which meant a technical decision, and the official's intervention was called for. Referee Ian John Lewis ruled that the telling blow was a result of a headbutt, not a punch, despite replays proving to the contrary, meaning that the 3 judges would have to score the bout based on 7 rounds. Kevin Parker had it 67-66 to Denny, while John Latham tallied 66-66 stalemate. Sean Messer, the other judge, scored it 68-65 to Wilson Bent. That draw left the belt still up for grabs, with Denny remaining determined to eliminate his opponent's unbeaten status, as he did with the O of Derek Osasi last year. The former Midlands champion is hoping to get his hands on the English title at the 4th attempt after earlier points losses to Linus Udofia and Rhys Cartwright. And what an early birthday present that would be for the ruthless from Rowley Regis in the Black Country, who turns 31 next week, July 2nd. The Southpaw's 7-year pro career stands at 13 wins, 2 losses, and 3 draws, with him more than empowered than ever to land a maiden technical knockout. He said, "I've got to do the business, no ifs and buts. This is the 3rd fight on television I've had in a row, so it's my career heading in the right direction. It should be my 3rd straight win, so no wonder that the board ordered the rematch. I should already be the English champion. It was a bad cut, but it wasn't a headbutt that caused it. If the referee, Ian John Lewis, didn't see a headbutt, you have to assume it was a result of a punch. The judges also got it wrong. One had a draw, another had me round up, and how he had him 5 rounds to 2 in front, I'll never know. If they let him carry on, he's only going one way. And so he's had that left off, and I think it's going to get him a bit rattled. Nothing that's happened can affect me. I don't take anything to heart. I'm probably one of the most chilled out guys in boxing, and he seems more respectful now. He must have thought that he was going to walk through me. It's not turned around that badly. My profile has been raised by close Hakim, and this is a big stage for us to settle this. If I get the win, the last result will be forgotten." Fair enough. Over in Wembley, Jason Cunningham is set to face Zolali Tete. Jason Cunningham believes his confidence is at such a level that he can be optimistic over the prospect of world title success if he can overcome Zolani Tete on July 2nd. European champion Cunningham takes on the two-weight world title winner Tete at the OVO Arena, Wembley, on the bumper card, also featuring Joe Joyce in a heavyweight clash against Christian Hammer. Nathan Heaney goes up against Nizar Tremek, defending his IBO International middleweight belt, by the way. And young lightweight star Mark Chamberlain's bidding for first title success against Mark Vidal for the IBF European Championship. That'd be a good fight, and that's coming up on July 2nd. In July, we're going to see Mark Magsayo go toe-to-toe against Ray Vargas. This is a battle of the undefeateds. WBC featherweight world champion Mark Magnifico Magsayo will take on the former world champion Ray Vargas in a battle of unbeatens that headlines action live on Showtime Saturday, July 9th from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, in an event presented by Premier Boxing Champions. The card will feature hard-hitting former world champion Brandon the Heartbreaker Figueroa taking on Carlos Castro in a WBC featherweight title eliminator in the co-main event. Plus, the Derek James trained unbeaten lightweight contender Frank Martin battles Panama power punching Ricardo Nunez in a 10-round telecast opener. Good stuff. Additional coverage will include a pair of bouts streamed on the Showtime Sports YouTube channel beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That will see unbeaten welterweight contender Rashidi Ellis facing Argentine Olympian Alberto Palmetto in a 10-round duel, plus San Antonio's own Ramon Cardenas battling Venezuela's Michel Banquez in a 10-rounder. That's in the bantamweight division. The Filipino sensation Maxeo is 24-0, by the way, 15 knockouts. He's fighting out of Pasig City, Metro Manila, by way of Los Angeles, and became the latest champion from the boxing-rich nation in January when he outpointed longtime champion Gary Russell Jr. to capture the 126-pound title, and that was also on Showtime. The 26-year-old earned the opportunity by knocking out former champion Yul Kisha in 10th round of a fight he trailed in the scorecards in August back in 2021. Maxeo is trained by Freddie Roach in Southern California and owns 12-round decision victories over Shoto Hayashi and Ramiro Robles, in addition to a 6-round stoppage of former title challenger Chris Avalos. The former WBC 122-pound world champion Vargas, who's 35-0 with 22 knockouts, returned from a layoff due to injury to score a near shutout decision victory over Leonardo Baez in the featherweight debut in November 2021 on the undercard of the Canelo versus Plant fight. The 31-year-old went on the road to the UK to capture his title in 2017, winning a decision over previously unbeaten Gavin McDonald. A native of Mexico City, Vargas made 5 successful defenses of his title, defeating top contenders Oscar Negrete, Ronnie Rios, and Azat Hovhannisyan. His 5th successful title defense came via unanimous decision over former world champion Tomiko Kameda in July 2019. So, as I said before, good stuff coming out of San Antonio, Texas. That fight, by the way, Mark Maxeo versus Ray Vargas, July 9th. Elsewhere, we see that Sonny Edwards has a bit of a battle on his hands. Sonny Edwards hopes the collapse of Julio Cesar Martinez's latest title defense does not prevent the biggest fight of the flyweight division, in quotes, from happening. Showtime has confirmed he is aggressively chasing a fight with the Mexican and is keeping his fingers crossed that Martinez retains his WBC belt despite pulling out of the fight with interim champion McWilliams Arroyo through illness. Edwards, who owns the IBF crown, has made it clear that he wants a unification showdown with Martinez and hoped a win for El Rey in Texas on Saturday night would open up the door for their fight later in the year. But Martinez, who had pulled out the fight with Arroyo twice before, now awaits a ruling from BC to see if he will retain his title and keep alive a huge clash with Edwards for 2 belts. Said Edwards, I was disappointed to hear the news that Martinez pulled out of the fight, and it's frustrating as we've all been waiting for a conclusion to this saga, only for the fight to go down again. But I hope Martinez makes the best recovery, and I hope he retains his title to protect the biggest fight in the flyweight division, period. Good stuff. All righty. Let me conclude this show with a bit of news out of Las Vegas. It's not related to a mega huge fight. It's related to the 6th annual Box Fan Expo, which is returning to Las Vegas on September 17th. We are back, they exclaim. The Box Fan Expo has announced its return to Las Vegas and its 6th annual Box Fan Expo for fans and the boxing industry. The event will return to the Las Vegas Convention Center on Saturday, September 17th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. during Mexican Independence Day weekend. The Boxing Expo will also coincide with the mega trilogy fight between Canelo Alvarez and Triple G. That will take place later that evening at the T-Mobile Arena. So wow, what a day that will be if you happen to be in Las Vegas. The Box Fan Expo is thrilled to open its doors to boxing fans from all over the world, and as well as to all major companies, promoters, and industry people during this Mexican holiday weekend. The Box Fan Expo is an annual fan experience event that coincides with some of the sport's legendary classic fights in Las Vegas including Mayweather versus Maidana, Mayweather versus Berto, Canelo versus Chavez Jr., Canelo versus Triple G 2, Canelo versus Jacobs, and centered in boxing's longtime home, Las Vegas. This year's expo is a must-do for fight fans coming in for this legendary weekend, with dozens of professional fighters, promoters, and companies involved in the boxing industry. As I pointed out in my description down below, you can see we have their website listed. That's boxfanexpo.com. Right. Thanks very much for joining me here on Talk and Fight for another episode of Boxing News Today. I hope you'll join me later on this afternoon at 4 p.m. With Mike Gore and Cedric Ben for their show Knuckle Up. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you later on. Thank you.